Hello, my model car friends and community members. I'm just kidding. Hey, welcome to Model Cars and Coffee. I did it right this time, but I noticed a lot of you guys are recording them early and setting them up to release because, gotta be honest, sometimes I don't see Sunday morning. But I've been a good boy so far this weekend. I hadn't drank a beer at all. But I did just feed the cat so he'll leave us alone. And I'll tell you what, meaty bites, beef and gravy. I almost wanted to take a bite. I'm not gonna lie. It looked good. And I'm still a little sore, so I could use the softness. But anyway, also forgive me, I'm a little sweaty. I was trying to repair the fence outside the gate. And it's the hinges keep loosening and it sags, so I keep adjusting where the latch is. But this time I tried to brace it up again, and I'll tell you what, just that 15 minutes out there, I was soaked, and I didn't want to change my shirt because America, and you know, in honor of the almost tragedy that happened last weekend, and unfortunately somebody did lose their life. But that's all I'm going to say about that. So I really don't have a lot of builds to go back to show you guys and talk about in Model Cars and Coffee. By the way, isn't it weird how many people start their video with, and I don't drink coffee? Is it a model car thing? Is it a health thing? Is it a taste thing? I remember when I was in the Marine Corps, not during boot camp, but after boot camp, you still had to qualify on the rifle every year. And they would tell you, if you're trying to quit smoking or drinking coffee this week, forget about it. Smoke up, drink up, because steady hands. I got my Coca-Cola. It's not Coca-Cola. RC Cola. So what I wanted to do was basically go a little bit about, and I don't know if I've even mentioned this before, I feel like I may have, but my love of model cars and how it started. Basically, 9 years old, I was living in Brooklyn. My next door neighbor, they moved to Lynbrook, Long Island. They came to visit us after they moved, and she brought everybody gifts. I was 9, she brought me a model car, okay? I guess my mom felt like I wasn't old enough to do it, so it never got built. It was in the basement. I remember going down there all the time, and I would open the pots and look at the parts, and I'd want to do it so bad, but never would. So when we moved to Lynbrook the next year, I can't remember if I was 9 still or if I was 10 or 11 years old. I loved model cars, but we weren't the type of family that you got gifts on Christmas and that was it. You didn't get gifts on birthday. You'd be lucky if you got a Entenmann's cake thrown on the table and said, hey, happy birthday. So if you wanted something, you had to work for it. You had to buy it yourself. And so I remember as a young kid, in Lynbrook, there's this area called Five Corners. It's where obviously 3 intersections come into one. There was a grocery store, I think it was King Cullen. I used to go down there Saturday morning. I would bag the groceries for the cashier, and I would help the people to their car with their bags. And I would do that all day until I had enough money. At lunchtime, I would go next door. There was a little diner type thing, cafe, and I remember I would get a fish sandwich. And then I would go back to the grocery store until I had enough money. And then like 3 or 4 doors down, there was I can't say it was a hobby shop, but because back in the day, I mean, they had models in candy stores and everywhere. So I can't remember exactly, but I would save up enough money during that day. I would go buy a model and go home. And I would start building it, throughout the week. And then Saturday morning, I was back at the grocery store. So I did that for the longest, however long I did. And then I ended up getting a job at Gino's Pizza, still off the books. I was young. think I was in junior high school at that point, but he was paying me $10 a week to sweep and stuff like that. But yeah, that was right on Sunrise Highway in Lynbrook, Gino's Pizza. They had good pizza. I wonder if it's still there. So, you know, all through my childhood and teens and, you know, until I left for the service, I was building model cars. And then even once I got in the service and settled in 29 Palms, California, I was building. When I was stationed in Cuba, I was building. I mentioned before they actually had like a store that actually had some model kits. So you know, and then I took some time off. But other than that, so that's, you know, I love model cars. I always have. No matter what hobbies I had, whether it be collecting Tony Stewart trading cards, Tony Stewart diecast, doing my model railroading, I always fell back to model cars. It's like the way I would work with my hobbies is 1 minute, you know, I might work on something for 6 months, set it down, go to another one, work on that for a while, set it down, go back to model cars, you know, and that's how I was all through my adulthood. So, part 2, that was the past, now here comes the future. So you know I got the group build in progress for Jason over at Blue Ox for the Street Machine group build, and I've got the buddy build with Terry Sanders going on. That it's not so much on hold right now, just waiting for. I really wanted that paint and clear to really set. I still have to put the hockey stripe decals on it, so those two are in the works. I still want to build for the Street Machine group build. This is the kit that I want to do the Foosify, the Foos kit, and make another Street Machine, since we got a year, so I shouldn't have an issue with that. And then of course I do have Woody's, Dave over there at Woody's. Oh man, come on, Woody's Scale Model Garage. You know what? I'll tell you what. I like having these shop cards up here for quick reference. If I forget, but they keep falling down, and it's funny. I'm not the only one. JT mentioned it over at I Need My Garage Time, that his keep falling down. So I'm thinking about taking them down and getting, if they still make photo albums. I don't know. But anyway, so I picked the Cadillac Escalade to do for Cadillac Ranch, Bruce Springsteen. Still have no clue what I'm going to do. I want to do something strange to it, but I don't know. I was going to actually go and get a second kit and try to stretch it, but they didn't have any more. And plus, I've never ever attempted anything like that before. But anyway, so I got that. Coming up in the near future, I do want to build the 70 Plymouth Superbird. This was gifted to me by Frank. I was shocked. I contacted him jokingly, saying, "Hey, what's it going to take to get that kid off your hands behind you?" In one of his videos, I seen it on his in his stash. I would have traded him, bought it, because I've never bought this kit when it was out, and I've always wanted to build it. And he sent it to me, so you know, I don't want it to just sit. You know, I mean, it was gifted to me. I feel, you know, not obligated to build it, but you know, I want to build it. I obviously want to build it, but it's going to be, it's on the priority list. And of course, the last thing that is a definite has to be done is the Yenko Nova, because I've already built the red Chevelle Yenko, the blue Camaro Yenko, which if I can find a Revell kit again, I'll rebuild that one too, because that AMT, oh my god, it looks so bad. The body is wrong, everything's wrong on that kit. But anyway, so this one is going to be done in white, so I'm going to have the trifecta red, white, and blue. So those are my must builds coming up, and then whatever else comes along. I do want to say, man, I really wanted to join Mars Garage, Marcelo, His Rust Bucket group build, but that's only a 3-month group build. And with what I had going on, I didn't want to take any chances, and I don't want to burn myself out. I mean, when I first got into the community, that was a big thing everybody was talking about. Everybody was burning themselves out with group builds, like Jason over at Blue Ox was mentioning it, and yet he's not only building in group builds, but he's hosted 2 of them. What's wrong with you, Jason? Anyway, so that's my model cars and coffee for Sunday, which will be tomorrow. But for you, it'll be right now, because I'm recording this on Saturday. So take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Be safe. I don't have the clicker, so I'm going to have to reach.